Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from Black Swan Capitalist. Blockchain's reach extends far beyond finance, with plenty of opportunities across multiple industries. Investing in real utility goes beyond finance. There are huge opportunities in other sectors where blockchain will make a disruptive impact. However, financial markets and money will be the biggest. Now, I think some of these other areas already have problems, and that's why blockchain will be a big disruptor in those sectors as well. Gaming. I think at some point, people are going to be gaming and getting paid in crypto. Real estate and property. We're starting to see the rise of tokenization around real estate. That's still very early. I still think the real estate market has to crash, and then we'll see a major turnaround with real estate. Because right now the prices are so high, people are still buying the top. Manufacturing and industry. We haven't even got involved with that yet. That's also coming. Industry 4.0 will be a major thing. Customs. They're going to want to get rid of all the paper. Everything is going to go digital. Finance will be huge. Government will also push more towards blockchain. And I can't wait for that to happen, because then I think we will see the end of the corruption inside the government. I'm just being too hopeful on that one, I think. Consumer and e-commerce and retail, those are going to be huge, because at some point, once blockchain is tied in with retail and e-commerce, people are going to be using blockchain and not even knowing it. People are also going to be using crypto at some point and not even knowing it. Logistics and advertising. Advertising is a massive industry. Now, if you want to get involved with all of these other opportunities that are out there, you don't have to buy a cryptocurrency tied to each one of them. You could buy 5 cryptocurrencies that are also ISO cryptocurrencies, and you will be investing in all of these things all at once. XRP is one of them. HBAR is another. It's tied to real estate, tied to gaming, tied to advertising, probably a few others as well. Algo is another one. IOTA is going to be big when it comes to manufacturing and industry, plus the Internet of Things. Quant, QNT is another one. Everything will be tied to QNT. But what I'm telling you is you don't have to go out and buy a cryptocurrency that's just tied to gaming. Nobody should ever do that. You should be buying well-rounded cryptocurrencies instead. And real estate is a big one, because everybody wants to get invested into real estate. I see it all over X every single day. People saying, I'm going to cash out crypto and I'm getting into real estate. But here's the good thing. We know there's a problem in the residential real estate market. You see it right here. Boomers growing up, get a job, buy a house. Millennials and Gen Z growing up, apply for student loans, get 3 jobs, tons of debt, possibly afford an apartment, but probably not. So they priced out entire generations on buying a house. So they know there's a problem there. So I'm expecting a major crash there to happen, and I think it's going to happen in 2025. And most likely at the same time that crypto is topping out in this cycle. And if you want to buy a house at that point, I think you'll be able to do it in cash that you make off of your crypto investments. Everything seems to be lining up for that to happen perfectly. You know, I was talking about that in 2022, and back then I kept saying, you know, real estate, it just keeps going higher and higher. Eventually, it's going to lead into a crash. And I think the crash is going to happen next year. Wow, DBS Bank on tokenization of the XRP ledger. 10% of the world's GDP to be tokenized by year 2027. Take a listen.
We actually believe and put a lot of faith behind this World Economic Forum report that says that just a huge percent, 10% of the world's GDP could be tokenized by 2027 in some form or another. And if you really believe that and can get behind what that means, that's pretty exciting. And we think that, that these topics we're discussing today enable us all, and really all people on this spectrum of folks that we deal with on RippleNet, from financial institutions to edgy fintechs, are all moving in one direction.
So they're all moving towards tokenization. Now you see why Ripple went so big on custody. And DBS is already partnered with Ripple. Most likely, they will be tokenizing their assets and bringing them to the XRP ledger. And when they're going to move those assets, like I always tell you, XRP will be in the middle. Ripple expands as Taiwan prepares crypto custody trials in 2025. Taiwan will allow banks to test digital asset custody services, focusing on institutional clients starting in early 2025. Ripple's expansion in Asia strengthens with a major payments license from Singapore. So think about that. Everything looks like it's going to be huge for Ripple going into 2025. But a lot of this is going to start in 2024. And that's why I'm always telling you, you know, it could be as early as a couple of months from now where we start to see utility driving the price of XRP in the middle of an alt season. Now, remember, everybody always said expect a major run up to $10 and then a pullback all the way down under $2 and then another spike up. Now, if utility is in there and it's driving the price of XRP, I don't think we're going to see those pullbacks that people are expecting. Then there's Monerex. And the reason I want to show you this again is because you see ODL here. So you see the internal system, and then you see RippleNet, ODL, XRP wallet, transfer XRP from sender to receiver, and again, RippleNet, ODL. And then they could cash out, and they could have fiat on either end of this. They could even have tokenized assets on both ends of this. And they could be transacting back and forth. But where you see the XRP would be a liquidity pool. And those liquidity pools are going to be massive, because especially if they're moving large amounts of value on a daily basis. So again, I'm going to bring you back to this. Remember this guy talking about Ripple? He was actually asking a question about XRP. Take a listen to this.
Brad, this is an honest question. One of your products is to distribute liquidity through the payments system. So the question is, could there be a run on Ripple? In other words, everybody wants your liquidity. Nobody wants to provide it because there is a scenario where people develop doubts for good reasons or bad about the system.
So let me first clarify what Ripple provides. Ripple doesn't provide liquidity. Ripple provides technologies that allow you to access liquidity that exists in the marketplace. In the last 24 hours, the digital asset marketplace traded about $50 billion of liquidity in 24 hours. That includes XRP, but that includes Bitcoin and Ether and what have you. So, could there be a run on digital assets at large? The nuance of the question is, Ripple sells technologies. Can there be a run on Ripple? I don't know what that looks like. I mean, I can't really think about that. Could there be a run on digital assets? I don't know. I mean, today again, $50 billion of liquidity, and people are moving liquidity around. For XRP, a settlement happens in 3 seconds. And so, to your point of taking 24 hours, I mean, 24 hours that's a positive story of a cross-border transaction. Many take longer. So taking a 3-second transaction and the risk associated with a 3-second transaction as compared to a day or 2 or 3, I think most people would say, hey, I feel better about taking 3 seconds of risk than a day or 2. So could there be a run on digital assets? Even that, I don't know exactly how to think about, because again, there's a lot of, I suppose at $50 billion a day in a nascent, I view it as a pretty nascent market today. And people are getting liquidity that exists in the marketplace in local regions between XRP in the Philippine peso, XRP in the Argentine peso, XRP in the Brazilian real, and it's tapping into that liquidity that exists in the marketplace.
So Brad pretty much told you there's not going to be a run on XRP. So don't picture like a bank run for XRP. What he did point out that there's going to be transactions happening in between these two countries. Maybe it's the US and Mexico, the US and UK, US and EU. In between there has to be that XRP that provides that liquidity. So maybe there's not a bank run on XRP, but XRP being locked up in between these countries for long periods of time will lead to scarcity, because they're not going to sell it because the price of XRP went up today. They're not retail. They're going to use XRP for what it was built to do. So there might not be a bank run, but there will be scarcity at some point in the future. And that's what I always pictured for XRP. And at that point, the demand would be so high, people would be buying pieces of an XRP, which will impact crypto policy more. And I like this post coming from Jungle Inc. because it sums up a few different things. So while high-profile figures like Chris Larsen and Jesse Powell are donating to presidential campaigns, the real focus of the crypto industry seems to be on congressional races. Why? Because Congress plays a key role in shaping crypto regulations and setting the legislative groundwork for the industry's future. Although presidential candidates can set the tone for policy, it's Congress that passes bills affecting taxation, compliance, and the overall legal environment for crypto, with more attention on state level and national representatives. The crypto sector is strategically pushing for favorable outcomes in key congressional races. Everybody keeps saying it's going to be so bullish if Trump becomes the president, or it's going to be devastating if Harris becomes president. But people don't understand is this: if Trump was to become president, you still need the House and the Senate also, or nothing's going to get done. We're going to have 4 years of nothing getting done because Congress is key to getting things passed. Same thing with Harris. Everybody thinks, okay, she's going to get in there and she's going to do all these devastating things, but she also needs the Senate and the House of Representatives. And that's where everything happens. And Congress is the one pushing for stablecoin regulations right now. Why? Because I'm telling you, they are pushing towards a CBDC. That's the end game. Ripple CEO drops the new stablecoin name, Real USD. Take a listen. Remember when this happened?
The name of the Ripple stablecoin will be RLUSD. I like to call it Real USD.
He likes to call it Real USD. So is he saying that the US dollars that we have are pretty much irrelevant compared to the Real USD? Decisions are typically made before they reach the news, which often serves to shape a narrative. But this is big. Ripple Labs recently filed a trademark for RLUSD, which could be the ticker symbol for its proposed dollar-based stablecoin. Now, I think Ripple is way more connected to the US government than we think. And I think that RLUSD at some point can also become the US stablecoin, US CBDC. That could possibly happen because all a CBDC is a stablecoin issued by the US government. Or maybe the US government adopts USDC and RLUSD. We really don't know yet. I still think the Fed is working on a digital dollar. I think they already have it ready. I think it could go live at any moment. And I think that's why they're trying to get stablecoins in place right after the election happens. I think either way, the US is on the path to a CBDC. Mark my words, an Ethereum-based lawsuit is coming. Watch for the pump before the dump. Again, we are not out of the woods with Ethereum. The SEC has delayed its decision on spot Ethereum ETFs again, moving the deadline from October 19th to December 3rd. Now, I honestly think that Ethereum is going to be called a security at some point because something's wrong there. I think this would have easily got passed already, but they keep delaying it for some reason. Someone is telling Gary, not yet, is what I'm saying. But you know, we're XRP holders. No matter how this plays out, we are going to get rich either way. Because whenever value's got to move in a digital financial system, XRP is going to be key to moving it. XRP can even fix the current financial system. It works with fiat. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.